Now what you get when three musicians push their limits and lock into perfect sync? You get power, you get precision, you get music that rewrote history. Now these are 10 of the finest rock and prog trios that really ever existed, and they allowed it the most 5-piece bands. Trios are special, they're stripped down to just 3 parts and there's no room to hide. Every note matters, every mistake is exposed, but when it clicks, it becomes magic, whether it's progressive, complexity, or raw rock power. Now these 10 trios prove that with the right chemistry, 3 is more than enough to shake the world. Let's dive into the stories, the sounds, and the songs that made them legends. Now, number 1 is Rush. Formed in 1968 in Canada, now Rush weren't just a band, they were a force of nature. Born out of Toronto, Geddy Lee, Alex Lifeson, and eventually Neil Peart came together to form one of the most technically accomplished trios of all time. Peart joined in 1974, and with that, Rush truly became Rush. They weren't chasing hits, they were chasing ideas. They wrote epics like 2112, a concept suite about individuality versus authoritarian control.
I know it's most unusual to come before you so.
Which not only blew minds but saved their careers. Then came Tom Sawyer. This was a perfect fusion of synths, guitar and drums that felt futuristic, but it rocked like hell.
Monday warrior, mean strike. Today's Tom Sawyer, mean pride.
Limelight gave us one of Lifeson's greatest ever solos, a brutally honest take on the alienation of fame. Rush inspired generations, not just because of how they played, but because of how they did things on their own terms. Skill, vision, integrity, that's Rush. Number 2, the Jimi Hendrix Experience. Formed in 1966 in the UK, this wasn't just a trio, it was an eruption. Hendrix came to London and found Noel Redding and Mitch Mitchell, and together they just didn't make music, they made fire. Hendrix changed the way the guitar was even thought of, from feedback and distortion to whammy bar dives and controlled chaos. His playing was otherworldly. Purple Haze blew the doors off psychedelic rock. Voodoo Child made the Strat sound like a thunderstorm. Hey Joe gave us a haunting, soulful glimpse into Hendrix's blues roots.
Hey Joe, where you go with that gun in your head?
Mitchell's jazz-inspired drumming and Redding's solid bass gave Hendrix the perfect launchpad to explore, experiment, and explode. They weren't together long, but they left behind a crater-sized impact. And Hendrix, he rewrote the guitar's DNA. Number 3, Cream. Formed in 1966, and even before the supergroup was even a thing, there was Cream. Eric Clapton on guitar, Jack Bruce on bass and vocals, and Ginger Baker behind the kit. 3 legends, one volatile electric chemistry. On stage it could be chaos, but on record, absolutely magic. Sunshine of Your Love gave us one of the greatest guitar riffs ever written.
Getting near dawn, when lights close the tire.
White Room was dark, poetic, and utterly hypnotic.
In a white room with black curtains near the station.
And their version of Crossroads redefined what a blues rock live performance could sound like.
You can run. Tell my friend Bowley Brown.
Cream didn't just push boundaries, they raised them. Blues, jazz, psychedelia, it all blended seamlessly. They disbanded by 1968, burning bright and fast, but their influence lives on in every power trio that came after. Number 4, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Formed in 1970 in the UK, ELP wasn't just a band, they were a spectacle. Keith Emerson, Greg Lake and Carl Palmer didn't write songs, they wrote symphonies. Think classical grandeur fused with rock's wild edge. Think towering synths, grand pianos and drum kits the size of small cars. Carnival 9, a 30-minute near prog epic exploring digital futures and dystopian controls. Lucky Man delivered acoustic reflection and a Moog solo that was decades ahead of its time.
Ooh, what a lucky man he was.
Tarkus, a concept album about a hybrid armadillo tank.
Building, wandering, committing every sin that he could. So good.
And yes, it rocked. ELP introduced classical music to a rock crowd that didn't know Bart from Bartok. They toured with massive rigs and performed like they were conducting an orchestra. Over the top? Well, maybe. But unforgettable? Absolutely. Number 5, King's X. Formed in 1979 in the USA, they never chased trends. They never topped the charts. But in this band, they changed the game. Doug Pinnick's soulful vocals and booming bass, Ty Tabor's textured melodic guitar, and Jerry Gaskell's grounded emotive drumming, together they created a sound that was heavy, heartfelt and spiritual. Goldilocks became a cult anthem for the emotionally honest.
I can't believe summer's almost here. I made it
Dogman hit with crushing power and groove.
to be the darling. Give me some attention.
Over My Head wrestled with faith and doubt, all wrapped in harmony.
Over my head, I hear music in the air. Over my head, I hear music.
They influenced Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, Dream Theater even, and more. They didn't play by the rules, they just made them irrelevant. Number 6, Muse. Formed in 1994 in the UK, Muse don't just play music, they create sonic worlds. Matt Bellamy's voice soars like an opera singer from another galaxy. Chris Wolstenholme's bass growls with fire, and Don Howard's drumming drives it all forward. Plug In Baby gave us one of the most iconic riffs of the 2000s. Hysteria was a bass masterclass in fury and finesse. And Knights of Sidonia, it's a space western prog anthem just made for stadiums. Muse made prog cool again, blending rock, electronics and orchestral drama without ever losing that edge. They brought sci-fi dreams to life and made them chart-topping hits. Number 7, Nirvana. Formed in 1987, they didn't just make a noise, they made a movement. Kurt Cobain's raw, vulnerable lyrics, Chris Novoselic's steady melodic bass, Dave Grohl's relentless explosive drumming. Together, they ripped through the gloss of the 80s and gave us something real. Smells Like Teen Spirit was a generational anthem. Come As You Are dripped with melancholy. Heart-shaped box balanced beauty and pain on a razor's edge. It gave voice to Gen X disillusionment and changed rock forever in just a few years. Short-lived, yes, but totally unforgettable. Number 8, Triumvirate. Formed in 1969 in Germany, Triumvirate were like the German answer to ELP, but with their own flavour of ambition. Led by keyboard maestro Jürgen Flitz, they blended classically inspired arrangements with lush melodic rock. Illusions on a Double Dimple was a 2-part suite that danced between baroque beauty and modern energy. The School of Instant Pain showcased their gift for storytelling.
Night you told me that you can't go on. You have no choice, you go to hell.
While Spartacus, their best-known album, told the tale of a Roman rebel in full prog glory.
All confused to see them dash away. Lose your mouth.
They didn't conquer charts, but they conquered hearts. And for prog fans in the know, triumvirate were pure gold. Number 9, ZZ Top, formed in 1969 in America. Now, ZZ Top proves that 3 guys, a fuzzy tone and a Texas swagger can go a long, long way. Billy Gibbons, Dusty Hill and Frank Beard. Bluesy, groovy, unmistakably cool. A Grange and a riff that swaggered harder than a cowboy in snakeskin boots.
To that whole mile on the range, they got a lot of nice girls.
Sharp-dressed man brought blues boogie to the MTV age.
Every girl crazy about his sharp-dressed man.
And Tush, short, loud and unforgettable.
Lord, take me downtown. I'm just looking for some touch.
They blended old-school blues with new-school sheen and still kept it all rooted in raw musicianship. And let's be real, those beers became icons in their own right. Number 10, The Police. Formed in 1977 in the UK. Now, before Sting was Sting, he was the voice of The Police. Alongside guitarist Andy Summers and drummer Stuart Copeland, they crafted a sound that fused punk energy, reggae rhythms and pop sensibility. Roxanne introduced us to their unique groove. Every Breath You Take became one of the most famous and misinterpreted love songs ever.
Every breath you take, and every move you make.
A Message in a Bottle proved that complexity could still be catchy.
Message in a bottle, yeah.
Only 5 albums, but each one a step forward. The Police didn't just play rock, they defined what rock could and should be. So, 3 musicians, endless influence. These trios didn't just play, they redefined what was possible. Now it's your turn. Tell me in the comments which of these bands is your favourite. And who do you think should make a next list if I was to do one? If this list rocked your world, don't stop now. I made a video about 8 bands you've probably not heard of, but absolutely need to. Click over there and I'll see you in that one.